Welcome back to Rust and Rust. In this Rust. Body warmer. Body warmer.
Hey Biff, get hold of this guy's life preserver. Dork thinks he's gonna drown.
This is the uniform when you're working on old British sports cars. So, sit rep, that escalated significantly, but the we have metal to weld to. Thoughts?
It did get worse than I thought. What started off as a pinhole is a bit bigger than that.
Yeah,
But
so
we have found solid metal.
the real escalation has been, let's just give up and get floor panels because, yeah,
So
there's...
much easier.
So there's clear evidence here, as you can see, of floor panel and then another floor panel below it. So clearly some previous owner has decided, I can't really be arsed cutting this out, so I'm just going to weld another one on top, which, you know, is a bold strategy and hasn't really paid off. At least we can now remedy. I think we've also had a discussion and these will be ordered.
Yeah.
Rather than...
There's no point trying to repair them, they're so far gone. And there's actually, guess what? Another skin behind it.
Yeah, you
so
can see there
somebody
as well.
else has done the same thing.
Just put another one over the top, so we'll just...
top. Double the chassis, double the strength, just add.
It's not really worked that way
It's
though.
not really work though. If we just add more panels, surely it'll be stronger.
Next stage is going to be, we'll probably whip the trailing arms off from these two bolts here and start removing this heel plate. Exhaust is probably going to have to come off, and then we can start looking at the back end and then the outside bits. So all of this in the floor is not even like visible problems. The visible problems are still there.
Yeah.
Good car, but
It's mint.
do you want to know how many 3/4 this thing's got?
Don't start, it's not multiple this time. Oh, for f***'s sake, you know what, why was this built this body twice?
Oh, love it.
Is that a white one behind it?
Hold the door already.
It's a white one.
Pinstripes living.
Let's see.
So we're on Sunday now, and I've done my mandatory Sunday job. We're now back on this. Sit rep so far, we have almost. We have rust, lots of rust. Just got a top and a bottom to do in that chassis, remember, which Daniel is doing. We've got more or less all of the panels off with the exception of the rear heel plate, so let's have a look. You will note, having removed an amount of sill, we have holes, bad repairs, an entire sill repair down there, which is so we're in debate. Obviously that'll need fixed. This stuff, we'll see how strong it is. The floors are coming. We're going to have to take these off today as well. That's the real heel plate there. We'll start chopping on that next. Moving rearwards, you will see we have many repairs needed here. This wheel tub with a bit of tweaking should be okay. This rear bottom here is absolutely gone. The top, by the way, we're all right. We can get a sort of a line on there to get a new arch on. That is what remains of the rear bumper support. So you can tell there's going to be boot floor issues. We have the valance off. Top's okay. Bottom has some amount of gap.
It's a bit crumbly.
A bit crumbly. We'll see what we can do. There might be.
I think we might just get a new one of those.
A new boot floor. Yeah.
It's probably going to be less hassle, isn't it? Really.
I'd imagine so.
Spend all that time trying to repair that for what?
I don't know, just for the pain of it. Moving here, we've got a bit of a better story with this side. However, the bottoms of the inners are still gone and have had evidence of repairs in the past. Top is okay. This inner arch hasn't really fared quite as well as the other. This, death. Door jambs on both sides seem like they're okay. I think we'll get away with putting the quarters on them. Tops are alright. And again, we have evidence of some pretty ropey repairs. The bottoms are the particular point of note where the welds have started to drip towards the ground. So
Actually, it looks like it's been gas welded.
yeah, it's wild. I'm going to do a wee drop repair on that because it's not worth putting a whole A panel in on. This little section here is available, so we're going to order that and just chop it out. And then that's kind of it, apart from the floors. We've not even discussed the roof deck yet, but
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
so today we'll hopefully finish the rest of chopping out, which should complete our first weekend on this little bastard. At least we'll have had an amount of welding done. We'll see how we get on. If everything's all chopped out, we can start maybe lining up the new panels to go on and trimming and prepping. But yeah, I don't think much more is going to be welded at this stage. I mean, the one.
Maybe you should get that's the shims for the trailer arms.
Is it? Do you know what it looks like? Remember we used to break washing machines doing all that? And it had the motor.
Yeah, I remember all those things. I did washing machines to bits.
And you used to use it to skate.
Do you not mind that?
You know what I mean?
Do you not mind you used to
I don't remember hanging at the back of close in the 1950s fucking doing washing machines apart.
Remember the days of
Playing
pulling
rounders in the playground.
Basically like the motor would have them, hundreds of them in it, and you would take them out and then skate them out. At people with each other.
A wee bag of Granny Supers.
Do you not mind the days?
You don't remember the days that you used to get the old spring beds, you remember spring beds?
You're such a deprived power.
You used to take the springs off and then make them into slings. And bend them into shape.
We get a
Old man Brian.
Remember, Tommy?
Take washing machines apart. Was it a top loader?
It's the same screwdriver.
It's top loaders, aye. Top loader washing machines, top loader dryers. You found a dryer, man, it was a lady who didn't
Yeah.
Somebody can afford a dryer.
Right time you got Julie P stuck at the window.
A piece, aye, he's got a piece through the window here, right, aye. You don't remember the days, Tommy?
No, I don't get flashbacks to my ancestors, guy.
Throw pieces out the window, my mum would throw a piece out.
Laceration job on a fucking gilet.
Gilet.
Can you get access?
I can actually get sight. So, we found more rust.
Did find more rust. Try to find more panels.
I'm trying not to lean in a scar because it keeps stabbing me every time I do it.
You might actually just go through it.
We got any? Try to see if we've got can't find this floor panel.
Basically, motivation is probably at an all-time low. There are platitudes of the night is always darkest before the dawn, etc. But we may have slightly under-egged how much work's involved with this. Just breathtaking quantities of rust. It'd be quicker if we just find panels that are alright. I mean, this bit's alright, I guess. Although we've not stabbed it, Brian, so I mean...
Yes.
could be bad. I'm actually now no longer wanting to hunt rust because I keep finding too many bits. Even this, so like that held a wire on, and the wire took the f***ing metal wet. When was wiring stronger than cars?
At least the battery tree's alright.
Battery tray is alright, yeah. Battery tray's good. Battery tray's good.
So given this car's history, I think it's probably time we do what all the people did when they first built it. Shall we go and strike?
The car makers never really wanted to come to Merseyside in the first place.
All new designs have their teething trouble, and all models have their share of fault.
The shop stewards virtually run the plant, where they are a pseudo-management.
17 weeks on strike, and now the threat of total closure have made the rift in relations between management and men even wider than it was.
This car is a disgrace. It never sold, and all the management don't say the greatest exporter you've ever had from Leyland. And it didn't. It's a load of bloody rubbish, that car.
Well, dear viewers, I think we've finally got to a point in Tools and Track history where... no.
Yeah, I think we may need to rethink this. We've got a bit too much rust.
We're keen. The mind is willing, but the body literally may be weak because we've been cutting and cutting. I'll tell you what, let me show you. I will stipulate this was my side that I was cutting, so it wasn't really me, but it kind of was me. So as you can see, we've got less and less structure happening here the more rust we cut out. That's all that remains of the sill line, which is fine, because that would be enough to tie into the rear, assuming we didn't have catastrophic levels of corrosion here. So what's happened here is the previous repairs have been so scant that this section here, which strengthens the whole back end across, is now no longer attached. Purely, never has been attached, but having cut out the floor and cut out the outside, that's been all that's been holding it.
Yeah.
So we are now at the wobbly stage. And the problem with having a wobbly stage here is that door is going to be a problem. The situation is about to be uncovered, but it's the same level.
It's very similar. I can even check. I can see it from in here. It's the same. It's the same story.
So
basically, it's just rust attached to rust. So we're now kind of thinking, for safety's sake, more than anything else, that we probably shouldn't be repairing this.
This is a goner.
Yeah,
sadly.
It's going to be too unsafe really to try and weld this back up.
And it's totally feasible for you to get to this point in the project and go, no. Nobody is admitting defeat. This is like...
Yeah. I mean, it gets to the point of like, how sensible is it to go on really, isn't it? It's,
yeah.
You know, you start actually, it becomes cost prohibitive when we've basically discovered that there's a couple of people in Triumph's Owners Club that have shells from the US, from dry states, that they're importing, and they are basically like factory.
So what we have is an option of what?
So we think the plan is get this shell off, bin it most likely, and see if we can get one of these shells from the US. And in the meantime, what we'll do is because the shell will be off, we'll have the full chassis to work on. So we're going to wire wheel back the chassis, paint, under seal, all the good stuff, change all the bushes, LSD, brake upgrades I think while we're at it, because it's still got the old Girlin brakes on it and stuff. So it seems to be the most sensible option just now, doesn't it really?
Yeah.
I think is...
Plan B, what with me being me, was that we actually just take the dunt on this, cut all of the bad chassis, well I say chassis, the bad body chassis out of this, and we space frame it. So basically give platforms for all the external panels to mount to, but make it out of section steel, integral roll cage, blah blah blah. The problem is we also have a bit of a time crunch coming on here. I have obviously borrowed the ramp because this is a communal ramp. So this is a 2-week endeavour, which is now becoming 6 months.
Multiple months, yeah.
What we're talking here is months, and it's also another project. We have a Supra, we have a low cost. This was meant to be a quick one, and it's not. So,
and I've got other stuff, other projects as well that are on the go at the same time. So we're
which hit the comments if you want to see YouTube clickbait, do the thing. But we can touch on those later on as well. But for this guy, we need to put a pin in this because we need a game plan that does not involve 6 weeks of welding and metal in the hope that we find something that's decent.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we've got nearly every panel, but the real issue that we've got is, as you can see, we really don't have anything to actually put a panel into safely. Yeah.
Listen, this happens.
Loads of times people buy cars and they think, yep, it needs a wee bit of work, and then once you start really cutting into it, that's when you discover a lot of the previous bad repairs, stuff like that. So, but we think we've got a solution. I mean, it seems like shells from dry states in America seem to be really good condition. So on the chassis itself seems to be solid. We've only had that bit at the front which we've
repaired.
already fixed,
We should have touched on that because we've kind of skipped to the end. We did do a very lovely steel section repair and all of that. So that has been the only bit of welding, which ironically is probably the only bit we'll be keeping as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's everything else we have seen on the chassis has been good though.
Craig's here, look. There's Craig on
Here, get
camera.
my camera, look.
Don't know what to do with my hands. We're just gonna hold it here. Hey, look, Comedy Gold's coming. Just wait. He's gonna do something. He's opened the boot so he can hide behind it.